Okay? Okay? This is a process, okay? I'm slowly getting my color back, all right? I'm going to step out of the door here, and if I hear one giggle from you, I'm going to be awfully disappointed and I'm not going to come back out, okay? Don't laugh, okay? What did I say? What did I say? I said don't laugh. I know. I know I look a little bit ridiculous right now. Drop it. Quality of life, everybody. Quality of life is what we're going to be doing today on the Obsidian Order SMP. Hi, how you doing, by the way? It's me, Cranky Calamari. We're going to be focusing on the little things, because little things are important, okay? For starters, the little things, I've downloaded some mods. As I'm sure you saw in that intro bit, I now have the ability to do camera stuff. Look at that. Look how fancy that was. Very fast. It's not going to take me an hour to do those quick shorts anymore. I could do them real quick just by pressing F9. Also, if I want to showcase a build, look at this. F4. Look at that. I got my free cam. My body stays right there. I'm kind of having an out-of-body experience thing going on. But I can do a free cam stuff. Look at it. I can show you my whole build from a bird's view. Super simple stuff. It can get a little bit cheaty if I go underground, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, that's cheating. I'm not going to do that. But that's going to be super fun to play around with. And I installed replay mod. Pretty excited about that. Very excited about that. Don't know necessarily what I'm going to do with it. I've done it before. Didn't really like it. But we're going to have fun with it this time. I've also done some vanilla tweaks stuff. Been messing around with textures. Look at that. Look at that brick. Look at that brick. Look at that brick. Look at that brick. I feel like a scene out of Harry Potter. If I press all these bricks, maybe a door will open. Whoa! Would you look at that? That was so cool. Am I playing modded? And now look at it close. Oh my goodness. I must be playing modded Minecraft. Sorry. I'm a dad. I'm 32 years old and I'm a dad. That stuff happens every once in a while. But yeah, a little bit of variation with the colors did a whole lot, right? Vanilla Tweaks, if you don't know, is like a resource pack thing, like where you can generate and customize your own pack with things that you want, like this, the varying brick colors. There's also, if I look at cobblestone, give me a minute, like this, for example, see how all the textures are connected? It doesn't look like there's a block, right? Before, with cobblestone, you could tell that was a block, that was a block, that was a block, that was a block. Now it all kind of merges together. Same thing with mossy cobblestone, apparently. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with that. We did the same thing with dirt, I think. Maybe I didn't do the same thing with dirt. That doesn't look any different. And now chains are a little bit bulky. Not 100% sure I like this over the previous chain texture, but you can see now they're more on the horizontal as opposed to the key axis, the northwest south, that kind of thing. Now it's a little bit wonky, and I can't tell if it looks good or if it's kind of out of place. Feels a little bit tad out of place to me. Maybe I'll take that off. But I also did things like 3D textures on stairs, or I'm sorry, ladders. Look at that. See, now it's not just like a picture frame on the side of this trapdoor. It's actually got some depth to it, which I think adds a lot of little bit. Which we need in this world, a lot of little bits. Long story short, I've been pretty busy between episodes. Not only have I built this guy right here, which I'm just playing around with some building ideas. Nothing really too interesting going on. I'm just putting in some facades. We may work on this a little bit later today. I want to put some roofs on there, but I'm not 100% sure that this is going to be the layout. I kind of built it, and I'm just going to sit on it and sleep on it. And when I wake up in the morning, if I say, yeah, I like this, then it's a tried and true Cranky Calamari build. It's gonna stay. And of course, I will take Sunfire's generic building advice too. See what he says about this. Small spaces create the most challenging builds. Okay, well, those are some big spaces that I have over there. So maybe it should just be easy breezy. Thanks, Sunfire. I appreciate your generic building advice. That wasn't actually generic as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really generic. But I feel that one actually, it fits. Thank you. But I 100% understand what Sunfire is saying with that building advice, because I did a little bit of interior work here in the Capri Hotel. If you guys didn't watch last episode, I highly recommend it, because last episode we built this magnificent hotel that's going to have themed rooms, right? We're the Kingdom of Mud. I want to have a home away from home for all of our visitors. Well, I also did 2 more. I did the oil rig room for Petropolis for Sunfire. Bam, baby! Look at it! There's so many things to look at. The underwater aquarium bit. He lives on an oil rig, so it only makes sense to have underneath an aquarium, right? And we added some fish rooms, which I absolutely love. Did a couple different colors. I'm starting to realize that those 2 match, though. Don't know if I like that. Might change that in the future. Added a sunrise, which I think is very fitting to his base here. It looks, I think, pretty good. We used some acacia wood for the first time ever, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then we added some orange tint to the room. Sunfire's an orange guy, okay? So I feel like this room fits him very well. And then last but not least, obviously we have rooms that need to be designed, and we have a whole 2nd floor and a 3rd floor, but I've only gotten to this far. The Flowery Plains room for Corgi herself, who lives in a Flowery Plains. As simple as that. It was very difficult, though, to fit all of this in here, believe it or not, because she has 2 pretty detailed and beautiful houses at her base. And so I tried to emulate those houses with the spruce wood and the dark stairs here, and then I put the bed inside the house and the overhang. Yeah, I don't know if I like it, but hey, I think it resembles her base pretty well. Also, she has an apiary, or a bee place, a bee house, so I put in some honey and stuff there to kind of resemble that. Once again, this little design's popping through the wall, but on this side, I like to think that it's like a sunflower. Yeah. It's like a little sunflower just peeking over the edge here. And she's got the night sky over her. I don't know. Super simple, but I like this room. There you have it. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's the before. Here's the after. I mean, doesn't this just entice you to go down that way? Don't you just want to go down this path? Oh, I love it. It's the little story stuff. That's what I love the best. And this it's beautiful. I love the roses. I think it adds a whole lot of color. But we've done a lot. Let me go through everything that we've done in this little bitty alleyway and brought this place to life by adding these things, like little just aesthetic builds. They got to get their water somehow, right? So I found this on the old Reddit. It's kind of like a faucet thing where it's pouring into a jar. I think that is so cool. We did the same thing over here on this side, as if like these townhomes, they're going to need to come out here to get their water or some sort. There's probably going to be more of those scattered throughout the city, but that just adds a little bit of storytelling. So you just throw in those bad boys ever so often, and it's just key features. Like, to be honest with you, if I look at this, I'm looking down the alley. I'm not really looking here. But if I do happen to catch the attention of this guy, hey there, sexy. But look, we did more. We finally have a path for this alleyway, so it's not all just dark and gloomy and gross. And we have a pathway that goes into the apiary building here, and we have a pathway that goes off in that direction. Now, I did do something that I don't know if it's going to be permanent, but I think it once again adds a little bit of story, right? We're in the factory area of our city here. This is our bamboo slash potato factory, and that is our mud factory. And this is an apiary factory slash business. So wouldn't you think that it would be a good idea for some guy to just come over here and set up a shop to sell food and drinks and stuff? Well, Bill Ford's that guy, okay? Bill Ford decided it would be a good idea to sell hot dogs out of this hot dog stand. Once again, not my design. I did a little bit different stuff. Like, I like this umbrella as opposed to the other umbrella designs out there. So I did that. And I changed up this dispenser because it looks like it's going to be like an ice chest. Like, you put your hand in there and you get the drinks and stuff out of there. Or the hot dogs, whatever you're storing in that area. But I think this, it adds so much personality, right? But Bill Ford's a businessman, okay? Bill Ford doesn't just sell dogs. He be selling sips as well. So I have a sip stand over here. Maybe this should be the dog stand now that I think about it, because I think that looks like a grill. But this is where he sells the sips. Maybe I should do like a cooler or something back there. Oh, that would be so cool. So yeah, he's a businessman. And all these businesses know that if they're hungry during work hours and they need to take their, 15-minute work break, we go to Bill Ford's, man. But I also added these guys, which I think at varying elevations, like this right here being that low, and that one being somewhat higher, and that one being even somewhat higher, it adds a little bit of character to this. So it's not all at one level being plain Jane. This is the Kingdom of Mud after all. We're dirty down here. We do things a little bit wonky. But I think just like if you just breathe this in, let's take a moment of silence here. With the puffs of smokes, the sounds of sheep, the workers working up there on their fletching table. Guys, this is it, man. This is it. This is what I wanted in my city. The one thing I do not like is being able to see this massive, ugly wall. So eventually, whenever I get this townhome section designed, planned out, and built, I think that's going to do a whole lot visually to the end of this alleyway. But I got to do a whole lot more work on the walls surrounding the kingdom as well. Make those look a little bit better. So, column A, column B, but I think that this is a great start to bring these alleyways to life, I think. Now, while I'm working in this area, this actually wasn't on the to-do list today, but I'm getting tired of this apiary. I know I just built it not too long ago, but look, there's a design flaw, guys. It's just pumping out empty glass bottles, and what's happening is basically all these dispensers are hooked up by a singular redstone line. So every time this dispenser activates, all of those dispensers activates, even if there is no honey in the hive. So what it'll do is instead of sucking anything up, because it has nothing to suck up, it'll actually just pop out a glass bottle. So this setup is really not convenient for me anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and just spend the next hour or so redecorating this. It's done! A lot of redstone expertise went into this, but it's finally done. So I had to pop the wall out a little bit closer to me because I needed just a tad bit of extra room. Because if we go back here, you can see I'm no longer using observers. But instead, I'm using comparators, because what happens is these beehives, they actually have 5 ticks, right? They have a kind of full, a little bit fuller, hey, almost full, and super full. And every time it hits those ticks or hits those states, the observer would tick and give me 5 empty bottles for every 1 bottle that I got. 4 empty bottles for every 1 bottle? I'm not good at math. Don't judge me. So what I did is I added a comparator, which gives me a state effect. So you can see this beehive right here is currently at a 1, 2, 3 state effect. So which means it's got 2 more states to go, and then it'll trigger and I will get whatever's in that goodie. Same thing with this was 3. This one is a little bit closer. That's 4. And it looks like that one is 4 as well. So once these hives, I can never remember the name of them. But once these hives are fully good to go, there's actually a sneaky one hidden back there. Then it'll give me the goods without any extra bits. You have no idea how long it took me to figure all that out. I had to watch multiple tutorials. No tutorials told me about the 5 tick thing with the observer. They all claimed that that was the way to go, but obviously not the way to go. So this, though it's a little bit smaller than the old one, is lossless, which I'm super excited about. Also, I was given the opportunity, though I did this a lot of the time, I was given the opportunity to work on the Muzen Cab pub. Once again, I used a little bit of lore from the game Smite on the god of bees, Muzen Cab. If you want to read the lore, go ahead and pause the video. You can see it here now. So if you walk up these fancy-dancy little spiral stairs, welcome to the pub, baby! Oh my goodness, I've never been more excited about this. Honestly, a whole lot of detail in a lot of space. So these chairs and these tables, super simple, scaffolding, birch on the back side here, and then spruce on the middle part, so it looks actually like a 2-person table. And then if you go around here to the back side, there's a bar which has shelves. I really wish instead of books I can put like drinks and stuff in there, but unfortunately this is Minecraft and you're limited. So I have me a brewing station, okay? And but yeah, I mean, it's nothing too fancy, but I feel like this is a good place to come by, have a drink after work, you know. This is the factory district, like we were saying earlier, so they can come here, grab some drinks, and then go home afterwards. A nice place to relax after a hard day's work, right? And added bonus, by the way, these barrels, they're actually functional barrels. They're not just a bar, they're functional barrels. By functional, I mean they're hooked up to these hoppers down here below. So whenever I want to put bottles in, I'd put it in this barrel over here and this barrel over here. So there's bottles fully up on these item hoppers. And in the middle, I'll put shears. So I'll get both honeycomb and potions. Potions? Honey bottles. Honey bottles. Yeah, I'll get both of them. These ones right here are shears, and the ones on the left and the right, the hidden one, those are going to be honey bottles. And I did a little bit of work on the exterior as well, because I wanted to indicate that there is something up there in the top part of this apiary. So I did a little sign. I mean, it's honestly, it's nothing too crazy. It just looks like a martini glass, I feel like, with a little bit of a frosted rim. But it's an indication that this building is more than what meets the eye, right? If I'm walking by here, I should really have a sign that says this is an apiary. Yeah, there you go. I'm not really creative right now. So that'll have to do. But if you're walking by, you can see it's the bee's knees, which means, okay, it is an apiary, but you can see that there's an indication that there's something else going on in this building. So if you go in, there's the sign that says the Muzen Cab Pub. So, you know, like I said, a little bit of extra decoration, but I love it because now if you look down this alley, not only are you greeted with like the mud sign, but you can see that there's also some other billboards. I think that's pretty cool. Also added a bench. Just in case there was a wait to get upstairs, people come out here, enjoy the scenery, watch how honey is made, and just sit down and relax and wait their turn. And then the buzzer will go off, and they'll get called up, and you know how restaurants work. I don't know why I'm explaining it. Oh, added bonus. I ranted and raved about how these umbrellas are really cool and I like these over the other umbrellas. Added bonus for these umbrellas. Sketchy beds. Sketchy bed umbrellas. But guys, I think that's where I'm going to call it quits for today. A whole lot of decorating, a whole lot of quality of life builds, but I feel like this alley has gotten 10 times better just by the little additions that we've done. I think we're telling a story and we're adding personality, love, and life into this world. Slowly, but very logically. Anyway, guys, I love you guys to death. I will see you in the next episode. Hopefully, I get a little bit more color because this Two-Face from Batman thing is not suiting me. Much love. I'll talk to you later. Peace.